Hello, my friends. So we're going to talk about how to draw the triangles and find the 6 trig functions when you are given specific information. First of all, we have to figure out what quadrant this is going to be in. So if we give ourselves the x-axis and the y-axis, this is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, and this is quadrant 4. And in quadrant 1, all 6 trig functions are positive. In quadrant 2, sine is positive. In quadrant 3, tangent is positive. And in quadrant 4, cosine is positive. So if that is fact, and we are told in the given information that secant is negative, then if secant is negative, then cosine is negative. So if cosine is negative, right now, we know that we are either going to be in quadrant 2 or 3, because cosine has to be negative, and cosine's positive in 1 and 4. Then we are told that tangent theta is less than 0. So if tangent theta is less than 0, then tangent is negative, because all negative numbers are less than 0. And if tangent is negative, then tangent is negative in quadrant 2 and quadrant 4. So which quadrant do both those things happen? Which quadrant is it that secant is negative and cosine is negative? Well, winner, winner, chicken dinner. We have to be in quadrant 2. So the answer to this question is we are in quadrant 2. And now we're going to draw a second quadrant triangle. So we are going to go to the left, we are going to go up, and we are going to come back to the origin. We're going to put our x-axis there. I'm sorry, our right angle there. We're going to put theta there. If you want to see the axis system, here is the x-axis. And here is the y-axis. Okay, so there's your triangle. And if that is your triangle, and you have the rule that says sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, cosine is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, and tangent is equal to opposite over adjacent, then secant is the inverse of cosine. So because secant is the inverse of cosine, we know the hypotenuse of the triangle is 65. And we know the adjacent side of the triangle is 25. So we know those two pieces of the triangle. Then we know the Pythagorean theorem is leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. I put the adjacent in the wrong place, my friends. Let me fix that, sorry. The adjacent side of the triangle is down here, isn't it? Yes, hello. All right. So we're going to do the Pythagorean theorem. And the Pythagorean theorem is going to be that y is equal to 65 squared minus 25 squared. And when you do that, y comes out to be 60. So the missing side of the triangle is 60. Now, the numbers 25, 60, and 65 are all multiples of the number 5. So 25 divided by 5 is 5. 60 divided by 5 is 12. And 65 divided by 5 is 13. Sine is the opposite, which is a positive number, divided by the hypotenuse. So cosecant is that. Cosine is the adjacent side of the hypotenuse, or the adjacent side of the triangle, which is negative, over the hypotenuse. So secant would be negative 13/5. And tangent is also negative 12/5 and negative 5/12. And if we ask what sine of 12 divided by 13 is, you're going to get the same answer we got a moment ago. 12 divided by 13, 67.4 degrees. So we're going to get 67.4 degrees. And that is how we do that type of problem, my friends.